Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the US and around the world. This is Baseball Outside the Box. I'm your host, Pete Caliendo. Hope you are all doing great, and thank you for joining us. This is a special edition, Sunday. Um, can you believe it? March 12th. The World Baseball Classic is going on. Hope you've been watching it. Some great games. The semifinals will be coming up pretty soon, but right now we got some great games to watch. Don't forget, check it out. World Baseball Classic, some great competition, great countries involved in it. And speaking about great countries, we got a special show for you. But before we do, I just want to thank a couple people. SIS Solutions, my Japanese friends in Japan, friends for over 25 years, consultant company. Check them out. Go to caliendosports.com or beclindosportsinternational.com. Check out the website. You'll see the podcast and our special sponsor, SIS Solutions, my Japanese buddies. They do a great job at IT, and they do have a lot of customers in the US. So if you need some IT business, check it out. And also ESPN Honolulu, welcome. Aloha. Thank you, everybody. And thanks for joining us. We are also live on Facebook, just checking it out to make sure we're live on Facebook. It takes a little delay. We're also live on YouTube. If you have any questions while you're on Facebook, do me a favor, go ahead and put it in the comments section. Again, special edition, Baseball Outside the Box. I'm your host, Pete Caliendo, and listen, this is a special show. Why? Because we are coming live from Ukraine. Yes, you've heard it right, live from Ukraine. What has been going on there has been incredible. What a disaster. We're always praying for our friends there. But can you believe it? That during this incredible situation, this war, that the Ukrainian Baseball Federation, all the people there are doing their best to keep the kids going, playing baseball. I mean, we have no idea what they are going through and what they're doing, the courageous things. These people are heroes, man. And they're great friends of ours. And I'll tell you why, because for over 10 years, we've been going to Ukraine, doing our best to not only assist them in the coach's education, anything we can, but they've also been helping us because it's so much, you can learn so much from the Ukrainian people, the Ukrainian coaches. Courage is one of the biggest things. The way they deal mentally in the game is incredible. So again, let's not waste any time. Let's get to our good friend, Oleg Boyko, and Oleg is the national team coach manager. He's been a national coach manager since 1997. He's also a member of the Ukrainian Baseball Federation. I just had the pleasure of seeing Vasil and Oleg in Serbia. We were there for the World Baseball Softball Confederation European Congress. So let me welcome our good friend Oleg. Oleg, how you doing, buddy?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'll tell you what, I am doing great. And, the question, how are you doing, is not really the right question. It's incredible what you guys are going through there. Tell us, where you're at right now. You're at home, right?
Yes, I am. During the Congress, someone said it's the most unanswered question. How are you doing in Ukraine? I couldn't say you properly. Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes it's okay, right? Like right now.
Yeah, it's okay, but what's incredible, it's really mind-boggling. Everybody has seen the things on television, the bombings. I mean, and yet, you guys keep such high courage and high, esteem. I mean, you still keep going strong. And what keeps you going? I mean, it cannot be that easy.
First of all, Pete, honestly, we're not heroes. Real heroes at the front line right now. So we are just people who love baseball and keep doing it for I don't know what for, because all last year we have no Ukrainian competition inside of a country. We all working for international competition. We want to represent Ukraine at the international events as much as possible and play as good as possible. It was our goal. This year we have an idea to implement the system Ukrainian competition during the war. It will be not easy, but we're working hard to do so.
Yeah, it's incredible. To me, you're very inspiring. And what I wanted to get to, and first of all, on Facebook, if you got any questions for Oleg, please type them in the comments section. I'll try to get to them. Sometimes I can see them, sometimes I can't. I see Steve Springer, a good friend of ours, on Facebook right now, and there's a lot of people, Jeff Del Fuco, and man, I see a ton of people on here. Hopefully, we'll get more. Now, as I've been to Ukraine many times, and I know you have in Kiev, you guys have a field there, which recently, before the war, was just built AstroTurf. How are the fields doing? Are they still playable?
Yes, field is doing well, and it's already finished. Except one little thing, But as a baseball people understand, it's a really important thing is dugouts. We're missing dugouts, and as I believe our federation will be able to build some. So field is fine, and no nears also in near Kiev. So we hopefully we use it during this year.
Yeah, and folks, just so as you know, I've talked about. I'm part of two great nonprofit organizations. ISG Baseball. We've been doing a lot of coaching programs. We go to Ukraine, we go to different areas around the world. I've talked about it, but also a special organization, Baseball for Good, which is connected with ISG Baseball. We work together. Baseball for Good, go to baseballforgood.org. We're trying our best to help in Ukraine. We've already sponsored a few teams, a 12-year-old, 13-year-old team, softball and baseball. We sponsored them to go not too long ago to travel outside of Ukraine and go play in the Little League tournament, also go play in the WBSC event. So we're trying our best in that area to help any way we can. And Oleg, we're going to talk about how people can help Ukraine and Ukraine baseball in a minute. But I want to talk about also you're doing things. We have our good friends also. Stanislav and Eugenie. A lot of coaches there trying to help young kids during the war, still trying to do some baseball, indoors somewhere, anywhere they can to keep the kids going and keep them distracted from all the issues. Talk about that, what you're trying to do for some of the young kids.
Oh, first of all, Pete, we are not alone. From the last year, I'm clearly understood. All baseball society, most of all baseball countries united to help in Ukraine and Ukrainian baseball, especially you. My thank you for ISG, which really do a lot to develop baseball as a game in Ukraine and fundraising some money for a field and reconstruction. And also we meet total support from World BC Baseball Softball Confederation of the world, of Europe, and also from many baseball friends in the worldwide. It was amazing. People in New York when even make a special fund to get some donation directly to Baseball Federation of Ukraine to reconstruction and rebuilding the baseball facilities in our country. So what's such good and really needed, I believe.
Yeah, what's amazing, and I want to give a shout out. I'm sure he's on here somewhere. He's the biggest supporter of Ukraine baseball and Ukraine in general. Our good friend Dmitry, and I always mess up the names, but Dmitry Sajilchik. How you pronounce it for me? Do a better job.
Sagalchik. Dmitry Sagalchik.
Sajacek. Dmitry.
Sagalchik.
I call him Dmitry. It's much easier for me.
Yeah, you're good.
It's good for me. But Dmitry's a great friend. What a great person. You guys, what's incredible is your senior national team. Dmitry put together a fundraiser in Brooklyn, and you guys were able to take the senior team to play in New York and use that as a fundraiser. Talk about that.
Yeah, somehow it's happened in Europe. Main competition happens every 2 years. So last year was a year when no national team competition, so no seniors playing. We did participate at under 12 juveniles competition, and we reached a final. We participate on the 15. We missed the final one game. We we did participate on the 18 juniors, and we lost the final 6-5 against Belgium. It was a tough
Wow.
loss. We reached the final under 23, and it was only one game which we lost at the final game, 1-0. So we but only except national team competition, and it looks like pretty fair if someone organized a trip like that to New York. It was a magic trip. So many people's I couldn't remember even Jordan, Jason, so many Americans' name, but people who support in Ukraine. It was unbelievable trip.
But how does, what's amazing, and folks, I got a lot of people on Facebook. This is historical as far as, we're live from Ukraine talking to Oleg, former or current national team coach. He's also a board member with the, Ukrainian Baseball Federation. He's been involved in the game a long time. What a brilliant person when it comes to the game also. He's done a great job with the national teams. Oleg, but you still have to travel. You have to leave Ukraine. You have to, the journey to get to New York. That can't be that easy.
Absolutely not. It took a long time to prepare and then to execute it.
How do you? So, what was the journey like? Where did you? You can't fly out of Kiev. Did you fly to Poland? How did that work?
Yeah, absolutely not. But we feel like very well support from the U.S. embassy, first of all, in Poland. That people really did an outstanding job, and also from Little League organization. I never ever been in Little League headquarters in Europe. It was located in Kutno, Poland, but we provide for us accommodation and was facilities for practicing. We even have one magic week. We play against champions of Poland, like scrimmage game or training game or exhibition game, I believe. And also we practicing. So for people who just leave were from the war, it was something real. U.S. Embassy works really quick, and we got the visas for 3 days, and finally we get in the plane. So in New York just shock us. New York is something different.
So, but now remember, as we're hearing the news, when you're 18 and older, you cannot leave Ukraine unless you have special permission. But now you have to get on a bus. I'm assuming the bus all the way to Poland. That's not a short trip, and then train in Poland, and then fly out of Poland.
Yes, because all of us were not expecting it will be so quick. So that's why we have to rent a bus and do all stuff what you said already. And also sports ministry and National Olympic Committee support us project. So we understood we're ambassadors of a game in that area, I believe, in America.
Wow.
So give us permission to let us go. So two of us was the soldiers, two players. One of them pitcher was the scene in interview. So it was good.
Wow, incredible. How about the younger kids? You've had some younger kids, some teams go to play in Vienna, I believe, and we also in some other. You have to again. You have to get these. I know you have some players that are already in Europe because they left with their families, but some players are still in Ukraine, younger kids, and you're able to get them out to go play in some of these events.
Yes, it was a tough question last year. It's very hard to make a team when half of the players or almost half of the players are refugees who live in Europe in different countries. But we got some good experience to do so. And also, as I said, we by patriotic wave, we reached a final at the most of the tournament players we played. It's really unbelievable result. Under 12, as you said, played in Vienna at the under 12 competition, and also play well. Hey, where's he at, Pete?
Hang on, it just came back on. Oh, like 1 second. Let me just double check. We're good. It just came out just for a second. We're still live streaming, folks. So if you got any questions on Facebook, let me know. So Oleg, we continued with the young kids. Remember some of them were coming. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Some of them were coming outside, from Ukraine. They were traveling outside the country. Some of the young kids.
Yes, under 18 traveling free, but needs some coaches. And at the beginning, it was very limited the list of the coaches who get permission to travel. But we're all working like with every age. I like to do so.
What about what else are you guys trying to do to distract the kids? To keep the kids interested in doing something. You said you cannot play games amongst yourselves, but there's practices going on with young kids.
Yes, a couple of months in advance, we starting to make a kids dreaming about that trips, and we push them to play scrimmage games and practice it more. At the last 2 weeks, we tried to organize by our own expenses, and especially ISG also helping us to make training camps, especially it's such a dream place like Boguslav, whereas ISG helped to build a field.
Mm-hmm.
We make a great training camp to preparing for. Yes, maybe we was wrong and did not pick the best players what we can, but we do for sure all coaches and all staff do best thing what we have, what we can, so in that situation. So I'm really proud of results of our team last year.
Yeah, we're lucky, and we are lucky. ISG Baseball and Baseball for Good. I want to give a shout out to Van Schley, our good friend, who is the chairman of ISG, chairman of the board, and he has donated a lot himself personally to help, and he continues to do so. We got to help build a field in Bogoslav. And Bogoslav, that's a part of the area where there's really not a lot going on when it comes to the war.
Yes, it is. It's Bogoslav and Kropivnitsky, where I live. We at the area, we heard maybe daily. We heard the sirens and air attacks, but actually not many bombs or not. So it's pretty safe place. It's wrongly to say that, but it's okay where to live there.
Yeah, and it's what's great is both your location, Kropivnitsky and Bogoslav. Great. It allows you to be able to play, or at least to practice, to do certain things.
At
And I
least
know
practice.
yeah, and in Bogoslav we have the indoor facility. The available for food, lodging, for the kids to be able to be safe, to be able to practice a little bit. You got the dormitories, you've got the classrooms, which is great. So I think that's fantastic. And the other part of all this, Oleg, to discuss a little bit about, we have a special project coming up with Baseball for Good and also ISG. That special project, we're not giving the dates out yet, but we are going to bus 40 to 50 players and coaches to, you mentioned the facility in Kutno Little League Complex. We're going to bus them over there, and then we're going to have a week of some fun camp, baseball, softball, some other entertaining things. That's going to be a nice relief for some of the young kids that'll be able to do that, that are currently in Ukraine now.
Yes, it is. It's a new project this year to make a camp for cadets. We call categories under 15 years old, but most of the talented youngers in Ukraine will be able to get there, especially from kids from Ukraine. And we hope in Little League headquarters in Europe will help us, in ISG as well. And we guess it will be good event for getting baseball better this year.
Absolutely. I want to give a shout out to Little League. We've been in contact. Everything is set up. Baseball for Good and ISG. We're all set up, ready to go. And folks, if you want to help, we could still need some help with that. If you're looking to donate to help Ukraine baseball, go ahead and you know how to reach me via email, caliendo19 @gmail. You also can go to baseballforgood.org. You can go to isgbaseball.com. We'll put all that out there. Anything you guys can do in the world to be able to help some of the projects in Ukraine with baseball, that would be fantastic. Please help. So tell us how do you communicate now with the coaches in Ukraine? I know you can't organize anything inside, but how the communication, are you able to get together sometimes with some of the other coaches?
Yes, we did. Oh, we have a coaches council, and also we have executive board of a federation. And by the way, already months ago, we successfully went national championship of Ukraine baseball 5. It's a new game, was combined of baseball and softball and indoor. This is a new kind of competition in the world. Was actually promoted for Youth Olympic Games 2026. So it's a game where there's no pitching and no hitting as well, but only defense and base running exist. But it was great competition, whereas 11 teams come up, and we like to host that event, and hopefully we'll repeat it in the future. And hopefully Ukraine baseball 5 national team will be joining in European Championship this year. So
Wow.
now, yeah.
Wow.
It,
And,
it,
and what and one of the difficulties you guys have, obviously, is anytime you're going to competition, I mean, it's not that easy to get together to practice. So sometimes you just have to meet in that country and get ready.
Absolutely, you're right. Yeah, it is a hard question this year.
Wow, that's incredible. We folks around the world, we complain about certain things, that, we need practice, we need to do this, we don't have that. You just put yourself in that situation, what's going on in Ukraine right now. And one of the difficulties is equipment also, right? That's something that we're trying to work on, trying to get some shipments to Europe so that way that shipment of equipment can be then transferred over to Ukraine to be able to support some of the players that don't have equipment.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Getting any shipment from you from anywhere in the world is very hard in Ukraine right now. So, but kids and parents and coaches and teams actually trying to find any help or donation or any shipment help from Czech Republic companies and Tomasz Vavrusha or wherever. And also we get some donation, even heat tracks baseball simulator from New York.
Wow.
Well, it's just amazing thing, from that trip. It's really good, great stuff ever.
I think if there's companies that want to send things, one way to do that is to contact us here at Baseball for Good. And we're working with a company called Turn 2 for Youth, which is the ABCA partnership company that has a lot of equipment. In fact, they're here in my hometown, Charlotte, North Carolina. We're trying to get some shipments to Bulgaria or some other regions so we can transfer equipment to Ukraine. But if a company can have something shipped to Poland or somewhere, that then can be picked up there and brought to Ukraine. Is that the best location?
Yes, and especially in Czech Republic, in Prague, we have a huge hangar with many a real baseball supplying company located where, so we can help us.
Okay, and again, folks, contact us. We will put you in touch with Oleg. We could also, work directly with the companies that we're working with and help any way we can. Oleg, listen, you got to tell me what spirits, spirits are pretty high. Hopefully, things, when it comes to whether baseball, whether it comes to the war, what's your feeling?
I'm living for that.
Yeah, I think the whole world's praying that this thing's over soon because it's just been devastating what's been going on. But what's incredible is that how you guys continue to 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 get the game of baseball moving forward in Ukraine. You don't stop.
Uh, yes, I believe we do a maximal effort what we can. And thank you for support from you, especially Pete, and from all our baseball friends in all Europe, worldwide. Wow, it's just amazing to feel it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. And like I said, you guys are an inspiration, I think, to everybody in the world, not only in the game of baseball, but people all over the world. Just how you just keep going. And, there's days that I have a tough day, man. And my day, and I'm down and I'm thinking, oh, things aren't good today. My worries are nothing compared to what you guys are going through. Uh, our prayers with you. And I cannot thank you so much for joining us today. And remember, folks, we're working on a project. We're going to be taking 40, 50 kids to Poland to be able to train for a week. As Oleg mentioned, cadets, that's baseball for good and ISG baseball. And hang on, before we go, Oleg, I want to take a couple of questions here. And you kind of mentioned it, but let me go over it because I'm getting some messages on Facebook, and maybe people joining late also. Um, Main thing you mentioned, it's safe to practice in most areas, right?
Uh, yes, for now, yes. Most of the team have a safe areas to practice in for.
And then you've also had a player invited to MLB camp during the MLB London series.
Yes, we do.
That's a big accomplishment.
It's amazing players and in amazing person. He went through the cancer at the 19 years old. He is one of the best European prospect, I believe. Catcher, Slava Babi. Everyone know him. He has everything to ability to play good, but only missing twice or three times to chance to come and over to, especially like now. So we hopefully he will be in London this year.
Fantastic. And
One more
folks,
thing, and very important, we
go ahead.
have workable federation account to any donation in U.S., France, in New York. Dmitry Sagalchik and his friends, we tested it. It's really workable stuff. We can support Ukrainian baseball, but by donating to directly to baseball facility and in Kiev, as you say, where is dugouts missing. So you have a chance to really helping us. So just please note it. That's it.
Absolutely, folks. And now, that's Dimitri. I'm going to get the information from Dimitri, and that will be a way to donate money directly to baseball in Ukraine. And trust me, Oleg is in charge of all that. We know it will be handled well. The money will be used wisely to help the young kids in Ukraine. And then, by the way, the player he mentioned, if he mentions this guy's a prospect, he's a prospect. Oleg knows his players. He knows abilities. He knows the talent. And not, what's great is Oleg. I've said this for over 10, 15 years. There's a lot of talent in Eastern Europe. There's so much talent. It just needs to be developed. And I now notice Major League Baseball is doing more work there because we just had a Bulgarian player get signed from the Chicago Cubs. You've got a prospect. Lithuania had the first major league player. I think things are going to open up. And I believe, one of the reasons is yes, there's great talent, athletes. Yes, we have good coaches in Eastern Europe, but also players are mentally tough, in my opinion. They're very tough when it comes to the mental game. And I think that's what separates them from other players around the world is they deal with the pressure really well.
Yeah, think about Slava Babi. He went through a cancer. He being a soldier and regional force, and he hit the ball over 100 miles per hour exit velocity right now. So
Wow.
yeah, he is good. And
Hey,
like a lot of Ukrainian guys.
and by the way, congratulations. I found out that you're also a part-time scout with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Um, you deserve that. That's why I didn't notice the P. But
Yeah,
of course, Dimitri's my information in my ears. He's like my director. He feeds you information and he's got great stuff. Congratulations on being with the Pirates too.
thank you so much, Peter, for everything.
Oh,
For
thank
connecting.
you. This is a great honor. What a great man, to have you on the show and talk about Ukraine baseball and what's going on in Ukraine. I cannot thank you enough. Folks, hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, help donate to Ukraine baseball. Oleg, my best to you. I will be in touch with the Poland project and other projects. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, Peter.
All
Bye
right,
bye.
folks. That's Oleg Boyko, national team manager since 1997, board member of the Ukrainian Baseball Federation. This has been a live show from Ukraine. We only had one slight interruption. I want to thank Dimitri for being my director in my ears in giving me information. Also, this has been incredible, live from Ukraine. I'm your host, Pete Caliendo. Thank you to ISG. Thank you to Baseball for Good. I also our sponsor SIS Solutions, my Japanese friends in Japan, always helping with IT business in the US. Hey folks, this has been a Sunday edition. Special thanks to ESPN Honolulu. Remember, this is the show that loves to interview baseball's best coaching minds who love the challenge of status quo. Today's show, historical from Ukraine, talking about Ukraine baseball, talking about the war, what they're going through. Remember, if you can help support Ukraine baseball, contact me, caliendo19@gmail.com. I'll get you all the information. I'll donate. Again, we want to thank ISG Baseball. Go to isgbaseball.org. Go to Baseball for Good. isgbaseball.com. Go to baseballforgood.org. Check it out. We're doing a lot of work in Ukraine. We've got a special project of 50 players and coaches going to Ukraine pretty soon here. From Ukraine to Poland, Krutno Little League facilities. We're going to be doing a camp there, just trying to get the kids to, out of Ukraine, trying to help them get their minds cleared and just have some fun and just forget what's going on there. What they're going through, it is incredible. We can't even imagine what is happening there. Prayers for everybody. Remember, folks, stay healthy, stay safe. God bless you. And we'll see you on the next show. That will be Monday night, 5 p.m. Special #1 draft pick, MLB pitcher. We'll tell you about him when the show starts. See everybody. Have a great Sunday. Hey, honey, that noise doesn't help. I could hear it.
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, really? For sure you couldn't hear me.
Yeah, I could hear it.
Quiet. With my file?
Don't worry about it. I gotta fix.
Really quiet. It sounded pretty good. I put you on Facebook and. Should I wait?
No, we're good. Oh, I forgot the beer. Damn. I think we had 2 parts, which is not good. Darn, now I gotta figure out.